Good afternoon, friends. In continuation of the series Learn to Live, today I would like to take a topic which is more concerned with the present youth as well as a factor of the worry for the parents and society. The expectations of the parents is always high over their children, and they also think that the children should be brought up accordingly. Similarly, the expectations of the children once they grow may not be in line with the expectations of parents. The simple reason is that their interests do change from time to time. Unless they are really programmed. See, some of the students, some of the children, they are programmed in such a way that they are tuned to that. This is what normally we call as a dynastic rule or a dynastic principles. Like a politician grooms his son or a daughter to be a politician. A film actress or actor, they try to groom their children to be in the film field. Similarly, a professional lawyer or a judge would like to have their children, and so also the doctors. So these are all the dynastic programming of the children, I would say. How they have to be there, and children also accustomed and acclimatized to that particular atmosphere, and then they get used to same, and ultimately they get into a streamline and they may become success in the same line. But here the issue is there are some of the children who are not comfortable, maybe due to their built-in or creative attitude, that they are not in line with their parents' desires or the professions. That is one problem society is facing today. In addition to that, in general, all the parents want their children to be developed, to become a big people. Here, when I say the big people, there are always the perception of the big is three things. One is the person should be highly qualified. Second thing, the person should get a good popularity. And third, but most important among all the three, is the person should become a rich. So when a focus is there on how a person should become a rich, automatically the total goals will be oriented towards earning the money. And the children are also made to do the same thing. And the parents support also for the same thing. And for last few decades, if not the centuries, because in India we are just 75 years old independent country. During the British time, the opportunities were limited, avenues were limited, resources were limited. Now, more than 75% of the parents, they want their children to study here with the basic education, then they want them to go abroad and earn the big jobs as well as the more money. And that is the end result. In fact, today, if 10 people, they gather at any point of time, at any function, one of the most important thing is that, how are you? What are your children doing? Then the response is, my children are settled in abroad, or they are doing the job in abroad. So there the abroad has become a more passion for the children as well as the parents. That is, I don't want to say it's good or a bad. When we are talking about the various issues, particularly the students, how they get into the depression, how they get into the state where they feel that they are not able to achieve their own goals, the parents' influence is also to some extent very important, and it should also be in a very controlled way. So now let me give you some examples. how the children get depressed. See, there are again different categories of people in the society. The people who are from the low, low in sense, very poor families, they come, where their desires are limited, although they may have the very big desires, but because of the circumstances, they wanted to limit their desires. Because the parents also influence that you can just, try to do some work and get the money. Same category, the children get motivated by looking at others or their own wills and pleasures or desires. They try to do work hard and they achieve the something unachievable in general, and that becomes a news. Other day we have seen a daughter of a rickshaw puller in West Bengal become an IAS officer. So it has a national news. Similarly, a person who is from poor family, not only poor family, but is a disabled person. He became a IS officer. That became a national news. See, these are also situations where the children also impacted with some of the things. But here, other way, other side of the coin, where the children get depressed because they think that they are not getting a proper support from the parents. They think they are not getting from the proper motivation, emotional support. This is exactly the major problem in today's society. And my message to all the parents and students also, do not compare yourself with anybody, be it your brother, sister, neighbor, or anybody. You have your individual life. As a parent, you have a unique role towards your children, and as a child, as a person, you have a unique role towards yourself. You decide. As you grow, you'll come to know what are your interests, what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses. Focus on your individual weaknesses and strengths. Stop comparing with neighbors. If you fail, you failed. Not because of the neighbor. If you succeeded, you succeeded. Not because of a neighbor. So that motto should be there in you. And that should really fire up you to achieve more and more targets for you. You be individual, and you are the person, you are the only person, you have your own unique characters. Try to retain that character anytime, all the time. Do not compare with others. Do not fall sick of comparing with the others. Do not get simply diverted because of somebody is trying to influence or somebody achieved something. Well, you can take the information only for information's sake, for a knowledge sake. If it helps you, use that. If it try to depress you or disturb you, stop it there. Be strong, you as an individual person. Be it a girl or a boy, you are an individual person. You are not a dependent. Once you start working on this, be it education, LKG, UKG, or post graduation, or you are doing a job, you are an individual. Think that you are an individual. Your output is from your own efforts. So make sure that you always try to be individual and never allow any depression to come into picture. Friends, with this, I stop for the session today, and I'll continue the same thing in the next session. Till then, goodbye. All the best.